Still my exact Etsy strategy that blew up my shop. Let me tell you what I don't do anymore. I don't blindly add a bunch of items to my Etsy shop and hope that one of them will take off overnight and make me a millionaire. I mean, that does sound really great, right? But when I was brand new, that was my entire strategy. I thought if I kept adding more and more items to my shop, that eventually I would get orders every day. Spoiler alert, I did not get orders every day. What actually worked was me taking a bit of a step back and getting more intentional about how I approach my shop. And I was able to develop a pretty straightforward strategy that now brings in multiple orders to my shop every day. And in today's video, I am walking you through exactly how I did it so you can take what works and you can make it your own. Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you are new here, hi, I'm Danya. On my channel and in my online community, the Done For You Digital Niche Club, I teach everything I've learned and continue to learn on my Etsy journey to help you blow up your shop like I did with both my print on demand and my digital shops. Without any further ado, let's get into it. The niche building strategy. One of the biggest shifts I had was quit making one off products and began building collections. For example, if I made a raccoon tumbler wrap, I don't only create the one, I'll build out that entire niche and make about 10 to 15 raccoon designs by changing the layout, the quote, or the entire style of that design. I'll then take those individual designs and add them to the shop, but then I'll create a bundle. And this is a really great strategy because you're giving your shoppers a lot of options. They can buy the one, they can grab a few, or they can grab the entire bundle. And the cool thing about that is that it will make your average order value higher and it helps make your shop look intentional, like a real brand. The VIP strategy. I quit trying to win with quantity and now I build my shop around a few VIP listings, the ones that pull their weight. These are the listings that get viewed, favorited, add to cards, and of course, orders, and they end up bringing in repeat traffic to your shop. And then eventually, over time, you'll be able to quickly identify them because they'll have great visuals, really good SEO, and there's real value being provided to your customer. So when you begin to identify those VIP listings, you want to make more of that because they're essentially going to be the anchors of your shop. For example, if you have a dog mama shirt design and a coffee lover shirt design, but your dog mama design is taking off, double down and make more of that. The audit strategy. If people aren't clicking on your items, it isn't the price. The algorithm does not hate you. Etsy is not broken. It more than likely could be your thumbnail. Etsy is a visual search engine. And so your thumbnail image really has one job, and that is to stop the scroll and make that shopper go, this is exactly what I need. Add to cart, purchase. I treat my thumbnail like packaging. You want to keep it clean, clear, and tailored to your ideal customer. You want to look at your thumbnail and truthfully ask yourself, would this grab my attention? Would I buy this? Is this worth my money? Learning to be able to do that does help take out the emotion that you have in your shop and will help you think more like a customer and have a better understanding of what would get your attention and what you would buy. The listing photo strategy. Although I always teach to have a detailed description, we also want to be realistic and understand that a lot of people really don't read them. They go right to your photos, which goes back to Etsy being visual. I treat each of my listing photos like a mini FAQ page if you're a digital product seller. Adding an overlay like editable in Canva or instant download, you can also add the DPI of your image to avoid any confusion, or you can add a quick shipping badge if you do POD. But one thing is for sure that if your shopper is not clear on anything, they'll just leave your shop and they'll go elsewhere. So you want to address any hesitations or questions while they're in your listing and you have their attention. The lazy shopper strategy. A lot of people really aren't going to dig through your shop, so it's our job to guide them accordingly. What I do in my print on demand and my digital shop is I'll organize my shop categories by the style or the theme and not the product type. You can think budget planner, pet lover, Halloween, and so on. I take a bit further and I'll alphabetize my shop sections for clarity and an overall better customer experience. The A B strategy. You don't want to test 20 things at once. Trust me on that one. That is complete chaos and you will lose your mind. So you only want to begin testing one thing at a time, and that will either be your thumbnail or your SEO. So, for example, you would create an item with a flat lay mockup. Then you'll duplicate that item and you'll make the thumbnail a model mockup. You're not changing anything else. You're only changing the type of mockup that you're working with. Or you can change up the title and the tags in the duplicated item. Either way, you'll keep an eye on both listings to learn what is resonating better with your audience. I do find it to be a very interesting experiment because you'll be shocked at which listing will get more orders while the other one may not get as many, if any at all. And in case you're wondering what I do, I A B test only my main mockup image. I don't touch the SEO, the title, the tags, the description. So if you sell wall art, you can have your main mockup image be a straight on shot of your wall art in a frame propped up against the wall. And then in your B testing listing, you can have your art be on a wall. So the other one would be propped up against the wall, and the other would be on a wall, maybe in a different type of setting. There are a lot of ways you can do it, but the A B testing, where I only change out the mockup image, the main mockup image has been great for both of my shops. The repeat buyer strategy. Unfortunately, Etsy doesn't help you too much here, but you can help yourself. And if you're a digital shop owner, you can include a PDF with your listing that will have a thank you coupon code or even a QR code to your website or your landing page to collect emails or even to your social media pages. You can also include a link related to another product in your shop. And if you're a POD shop owner, you can include a card with each purchase that you can do the exact same thing with, like a QR code or a link to a related item. And in my print on demand shop, I have it set up with Printify where I pay 10 cents per order. So they'll get the item from my shop, and then with the item will be a little card, and it'll have a QR link back to my shop. And I do have a coupon code on there with them. It's a very low effort way to get your customer to come back, which is always easier than finding a new one. And a bonus tip would be if you go that route, include a special coupon code. That way you can track how many of your shoppers are returning because they're going to be entering that code at checkout, and you can track to see how well that particular strategy that you're using is working. The daily sale strategy. I talked about it before, but I do run a sale in my shop every single day. And it doesn't have to be 50% off. In fact, you'd be shocked at how even a 5% or a 10% sale can drive traffic and bring orders. Ultimately, it creates urgency and FOMO, fear of missing out, especially with the countdown timer that Etsy shows on that listing. When a buyer sees a sale is ending in 5 hours, for example, it can push that customer to act now instead of waiting or clicking away because who doesn't love a good deal? It's another low effort strategy, but it converts casual buyers into shoppers extremely well. And it can be one of the easiest ways to build daily momentum. You don't need to be uploading nonstop just to feel productive in your shop. What you need is a shop that makes it easy for buyers to say yes with items that connect with them, images that answer questions, and a setup that works with buyer behavior. These 8 strategies have completely changed how I run both of my shops and how I get sales every day without burnout. And if you want help with this, I do teach all of it and more inside of the group. The link is below in the description for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.